You ready?
And you tell me when to eat which one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You can just follow my lead.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Welcome to Blazin Bites, the show with blazing questions and blazing wings. It's UAB's spiciest interview show. We're here with Brynn Welch. Brynn, please, just introduce yourself for the people, if you don't mind.
Do I? Sorry.
You can speak to this camera,
Okay.
you can speak to this camera.
Yeah, I'm Brynn Welch. I'm an associate professor of philosophy, and I do not like spicy food, so I am scared.
Okay, so before we start out with wing number one, a lot of your writing goes into children's literature. You've talked extensively, in fact, you say on your website that you love to take advantage of, I believe it's a 40-branch library system.
Yes,
here in Jefferson
County.
So we were wondering if you could just give us your Mount Rushmore, your top 4 favorite libraries here in the Jefferson County
Top
system.
4 favorite libraries?
Yes.
Yes. Homewood, Hoover, Vestavia. Oh, Vestavia would be my number 1 because it's like in the forest and it has this really cool seating arrangement. And then I really like Birmingham City. I like the main, I like the downtown branch.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we're ready to start with wing number 1. This is the Mango Habanero.
It's this one.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, he only said mango?
It's mango. It's a little bit spicy.
Okay.
It's not too bad. It's spicy, but it's not the end of the world.
It's very good, but it is spicy.
Excellent flavor.
And now I feel more scared than I was in the beginning.
You're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Got a little bit of my teeth here.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
What a really good wing.
Excellent flavor on that. So, like I said, you deal a lot with children's literature. You deal a lot with family structure
Yes.
and relationships.
Yes.
This could probably be an entire interview in and of itself, unpacking what draws you to that. But if you could condense it for us, what do you think draws you to that area of study?
That's interesting because what drew me to it is not what keeps me in it. So what drew me to it was like a weird product of inertia. I went to graduate school and they assigned me an advisor who's Harry Brighouse, who's just a really big deal in family ethics. And so I was like, sure, that seems cool, let's do that. So I did family stuff. But now I think family is A, the most important thing I do, and so I want to get it right. And B, it's like my plug for philosophy. Like philosophy is everywhere. It's in like family dynamics about how we raise our kids. And so I just get really excited about how it's philosophy everywhere all the time.
Of course. It's a very big part of your life. I would call you a philosopher, but you're also an educator. So obviously in talking to like students of yours, they're very passionate about the things you teach them about. And I was just curious, like, if you could think when I ask like a magical moment that comes to mind from like one of your students, or just like a moment where maybe you're teaching and you just feel a sense of like overwhelming pride. If you could maybe sort of take us to one of those moments.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I was teaching a class and a student, and he knows this is not like a secret story. A student came up to me afterwards and he had studied philosophy before coming here, but he had studied Africana philosophy, which I'm not trained in at all. And he said, you know, my understanding of philosophy is just so different from what's happening in the class, and I don't know what to do with that. And I said, well, can you just keep coming to class? Just keep bringing your perspective to class. And in further conversation with him and thinking about my own classes, it ended up changing the trajectory of my teaching career.
Wow.
So I started going to conferences to like learn Africana philosophy, and then this past summer I went to one to learn Mexican philosophy and Latin American feminism, and just huge gaping holes in like the traditional philosophical education. And so now I get to teach all this stuff in class like while I'm learning it.
Yeah.
And it's just very exciting because it's like getting to go to school all over again and learn all the stuff I didn't know the first time.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think that's really fascinating. Like, I appreciate that you're willing to like learn every single day. I feel like that's like the mark of a good educator, is somebody who learns from their students.
It's also like a perk of the job, right? Like I
Yeah.
always tell people I can't believe my job is to walk into rooms and just have interesting conversations with people.
Yes.
And then like, that's my job.
I'm so glad you said interesting conversations because, well, first we're going to take a bite of wing number 2.
Okay.
I believe this is Buffalo 1. So here we go.
Which will be spicier than mango habanero?
Just step up.
Okay. I keep taking bigger bites than I mean to.
It's a delicate art.
Okay. All right, I'm alive.
You're doing it?
I'm doing it.
You can feel it start to
there it
marinate.
is.
It grows on you just a little bit.
Okay, I
not
like
to
the
be
mango
underestimated.
flavor better though.
Yeah. When I was speaking to students of yours, they told me to ask you, they gave me no context, but they told me to ask you about the baby burger. If you could break down for us what a baby burger is.
Oh, this is horrible.
I've been dying to know
while
since
we're
I heard
eating
about
chicken
it.
wings. This is horrible. Okay. Oh, this is terrible, and it's going to be on YouTube forever. All right. So in ethics classes, in introductory ethics classes, we run arguments that you should be a vegetarian, which I am not.
Of course.
And often people point to reasons it's okay to eat animals. But many of those reasons would make it okay to eat babies.
I see.
So I suggest to them a thought experiment whereby we
Okay, I see where this is
make
going.
babies.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And we make a delicacy. I love that my child is here listening to this. We make a delicacy that is a baby burger. Now,
Okay.
it will not be a financially sound investment, but like I think
Yeah.
we're kidding ourselves if we think nobody in the world would pay. So I say, whatever your reasons are for not eating a baby burger, I usually say, like, go enjoy your lunch. Because
Yeah, fair enough. It makes sense.
one student knit me a baby burger.
Knit you
and
a
it
baby
sits
burger.
proudly in my
Oh my God.
office.
I would love if you could send us a picture of that to include in the video. Okay,
Yeah, I was not prepared for baby burger.
that was
Okay.
remarkable. So, thank you for sharing. Thank you for pinching your nose and going through that.
Yeah.
So before we move on to wing number 3, speaking about ethics,
Yes.
you serve on the Equity
Yes.
Leadership Council
Yes.
for the College of Arts and Sciences.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you do there and what the Equity Leadership Council's mission is?
Sure. So the Equity Leadership Council is really broad, and I am one of 3 College of Arts and Sciences equity advisors. And so in my capacity in particular, I sit on faculty searches right now in arts and humanities, but like the departments have shifted around. And we're there to really advise on how to make sure it's a fair search. And then the Equity Leadership Council, we're there to sort of both understand policies on campus, but we also advise on activities we might be able to engage in on campus, and all sorts of good stuff like that. And I love it especially because it's what actually drew me to UAB. So like when I was looking, I was at a different school and I needed to move for a better environment for myself and my daughter. And what really appealed to me about UAB was its commitment to inclusive excellence.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we're ready for number 3.
Are we though?
This is Buffalo 2, I want to say.
Okay.
Excellent flavor on that one. It's a
It's a
favorite
really
of mine.
good flavor. Also, that is burning the back of my
Yes.
throat.
That's the one, yeah. It gets me a lot of the time. It creeps up on you. Feel free to take part in the milk. Take as many
I
napkins
feel
as
like
you
I'm
need.
conceding if I drink the milk, but
Oh no, it's a must. It's a must.
oh, it's like burning all the way down.
We
Okay.
can take a second if you need
Okay.
before we move it along.
All right.
So, I was interested to know, we were wondering what sort of resources are available for students that are looking to get involved, who maybe aren't philosophy majors or who just have a casual interest in it and maybe want to take the next step to get a little bit more into it. What do you think is available to them here at UAB and in Birmingham?
My lips are burning.
It's okay. You're doing a great job. Careful touching your
Oh
face.
yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're doing good though.
So much. So our department has the philosophy club.
Of course.
And I think they meet fairly regularly and do stuff like watch movies and stuff and have conversations. We try like once a semester to have social events where faculty are there too to mingle.
Yeah. You're okay. You're doing good.
They burn. There's a philosophers guild, which I know less about, but one of our professors runs a philosophy guild where people from all over the city, I think, come and chat philosophy. But the biggest thing I would say is either take a class or come chat with us. So we are an undergrad only department at the moment, and we are really invested in teaching. And one of my favorite things about our department is we care so much about undergrad education, and we get to know our students, and we quite enjoy talking philosophy with them. So you don't have to be one of our students to ask to talk philosophy with us.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think that's like, I'm so glad that, that's available to students. Just moving along, we were also thinking about like, what sort of thoughts are nagging at you? What philosophical questions, what shower thoughts do you think have occurred to you recently that have been, what sort of questions have you been begging recently?
Oh, I gotta tell, okay, so a lot of my work recently has been on actually teaching philosophy. So I'm editing a book from like award-winning teachers around the country. And so I've been thinking a lot about how to teach a class well, that is both fair and also like responsive to both the needs of the students and the professor, right? So a lot of my thinking has been about the structure of a classroom. But this is so weird. The one that's been getting me, and I was actually in a discussion about it today, is trying to figure out how we classify something as healthy or unhealthy or disordered or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of those definitions appeal to an understanding of what normal is already, and those understandings of normal often reflect bias, stigma, in some cases outright oppression. And so the case that haunts me constantly is the case of whether, and this is the one that's really lit me up lately. I teach it all the time, but for some reason it's latched in, is the question of parents choosing cochlear implants for their children. Because there is a huge debate about whether deafness constitutes a disability. And if it doesn't constitute a disability, then the very existence of cochlear implants is troubling.
Of course.
But also, if we get rid of cochlear implants, then somebody who is hearing and deafened later in life lacks. So I don't know. And because I'm so fascinated by like what parents can do for their children, that just seems like a big one about like how many decisions we get to make and how much individual parents are supposed to be thinking about these like broader social battles.
Yeah, that was such a good answer because I've heard the discourse about like deafness, whether it's a disability, and I know that I'm not nearly qualified to answer that.
I feel really, and also because it is so many of my general questions have to do with like, I think parents have far fewer rights than many people might be inclined to think of them as having. But I also think parents are overworked and we continuously shift more things onto parents. So I don't know how much it's fair to say like parents have to make these huge decisions with massive social ramifications. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my answer to almost every philosophical
That's good. That seems
puzzle.
like
I don't know.
That seems like sort of the core of the discipline.
Yeah.
So we're ready for number 4. You've had time to cool off for number 3.
Oh, I see the pacing now. I see how you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the biggest bite.
This is a house blend. I probably took a bigger bite than I should have as well.
Oh.
It's got the jalapeno garnish.
Oh, it hurts.
It's a little bit of a tricky one.
Oh my gosh.
Chef Brandon knew what he was doing there.
That's house blend.
If you need to hit the milk, yes, this is a house blend. I think there's some Buffalo 2 in there, maybe a little bit of Buffalo 13.
Oh my.
So you're doing great.
Okay.
On your website, you talk about your love for Moss Rock and Hoover. As an outdoorswoman, outdoorsman, whatever you prefer, we're curious if you have any deep cuts or just any places that you feel maybe get a little bit overlooked when it comes to getting outside in and around Birmingham.
So this is funny because I'm not outdoorsy, but that is from when, so my family, I'm a blended family, and we merged and moved into a new house in March of 2020.
Yeah.
So Moss Rock was one of the only places we could, and it's in walking distance, and so that was, one of the, you couldn't do anything,
Right.
but we could go there. And for me, actually, I do think that one of the overlooked places are the back entrances of Moss Rock. So everybody goes down to the front where you can park, and the preserve is there. But if you hit the back entrance, you come in at like hidden waterfalls all over the place.
Really?
Yes, and there's one path where, and it's like the big open back path. If you stay on it, you suddenly just get this breathtaking open view of like mountains in the distance.
Oh, wow.
And I grew up in the mountains, and I'm a real sucker for like the like rolling hills.
Because you're from Virginia, right?
I moved here from Virginia. I'm originally from Tennessee, but like the very same.
Yeah.
Like the very same geographic
You get better
area.
mountains there than you do.
You get way better
here.
mountains.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because I recently went to Peavine Falls in Oak Mountain.
Okay, yeah.
And it was, you see these breathtaking pictures of it, but it was completely dried up. It was less of a waterfall and more of a trickle.
Yeah,
I'll definitely make the trip out to Moss Rock.
The first time I took both kids wandering, we discovered like a random gorgeous watering hole with stones, and then the kids were sitting there like drawing it in their little art book. I mean, there were very few days during COVID where I was like, I'm crushing the parenting game, but that was a good one.
Well, speaking of your daughter.
Yes.
We've made it to question number 9.
Oh, question number 9.
So, if our second guest would like to come join us, we had a question prepared for her as well. And here she comes right now. If you want to hold your microphone there that's clipped to you, just you can unclip it from yourself if you like.
Okay.
So if you could just introduce yourself to the camera for us, tell us your name.
My name is Lizzy, and I like to sing a lot, and I am here to watch my mom eat very spicy chicken fingers and laugh about it.
Well, we're very thankful to have you on the show. I understand that you're a big fan of elevators. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if you could maybe just give us, a 30 seconds, a minute, just tell us what you love about elevators. Tell us why you love elevators. Maybe tell us some of your favorite elevators.
Well, favorite one, I went to Washington, D.C. recently.
Oh.
I did like the Monument elevator. Something I like about elevators, well, I think I use them better because they're more fun sometimes. Sometimes they're a little, not that good, but I'd still
agree.
use them.
A lot of the elevators at UAB are not that good.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's really it.
What's one you'd want to go to?
The Dubai.
Oh, I've heard a lot about that one. That would be excellent to go to. Well, that was really all we had. We really appreciate you explaining it to us, your passion for elevators. I hope that you get to go on the Dubai one.
Yeah, maybe.
It was a pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure having you on. We can go ahead and try the final wing. If you'd like, you can sit with us.
Sure.
And you can just go ahead and clip that back on if you'd like. And we'll take the final bite. We've made it. Well, I can't cheat. I can't remove my jalapeno
Do I have to eat the jalapeno?
You certainly are under no obligation
Am
to.
I supposed to, though? Is it by design?
It's not necessarily by design. I've done it every time just because it seems like it's there to be bitten, but
Okay.
you're only
No, I'm in it too.
you're only our third guest on the show.
Okay.
So if you'd like to set the precedent of it being okay not to eat it, now is the time.
Absolutely not.
Okay, here we go then.
Okay. Oh, no.
That is a rough one.
Oh. Oh, that is so bad. I mean, not tape, but like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
why?
Careful
Why?
around your face. Feel free to hit the milk.
Why?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a difficult one. Even I struggle. This is the part where I start to stumble over my words.
Why do
Find it
people
hard
want
to
eating
collect
to
myself.
hurt?
I don't know. I wish I knew.
Oh.
It's times like this when I wonder why I signed up for this program.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and throw your final question at you.
Okay.
While you're struggling to survive. This is the victory lap.
I was not prepared.
I understand you're an avid reader.
Uh-huh.
We would love to know what you're reading right now. Give us a recommendation.
Oh,
It can be adult literature. I understand you're a big fan of children's literature as well. So if if there's any good books that you would recommend to people, we would love to know.
Ooh. Right now I'm reading Bel Canto, which I would not yet recommend, but that may turn around. I
Okay.
can't put books down is a problem, so
I see.
This Is How It Always is one of my favorite, but it's the book that I recommend. It hurts.
Yeah, it does. I probably seem a little bit more composed than I am. Trying my best to keep it together. You're doing a
But
great
it
job.
hurts like everywhere, like lips and tongue and the back of my, like
it's a
just
full-scale
burning everywhere.
assault.
Oh, are you tempted to try it right now, aren't you? Don't.
We can box these up if you like.
Yeah, this is how it always is. I'm trying
2 books is
so
good.
hard
If
right
you want to
now.
be done, you can be done.
Oh, I love Poisonwood Bible. I've always loved Poisonwood Bible.
Poisonwood Bible.
Oh, I love One Crazy Summer. One Crazy Summer. I think it's technically like I think it might be technically young adult, or maybe even children, but I think it's probably one of the best books
Yeah.
that I've ever read. And Clap When You Land. Sorry.
Clap when you land. Hey,
Just
no.
keep-
Do not be sorry.
Oh, I loved Clap When You Land.
Okay.
Oh, this hurts.
Well, you did it. You ran the gauntlet. You made it through all 10 questions. You made it through all 5 wings. This has been Brynn Welch. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
If there's anything you'd like to plug to the camera, you can. If there's anything you want to encourage people to come out to, anything you want to tell them, well, obviously you just told them what to read. But if you have anything that you'd
Yeah.
like to plug, now's your chance.
You should follow the UAB Philosophy Department Instagram. It's at UAB Philosophy. And you should definitely, in the spring, for instance, I'm teaching Family and Philosophy, which is like my very favorite class, and also a class called Philosophical Perspectives, where I get to teach like all the new things I keep learning at these conferences in one class. Oh, you wanted to plug something?
Yes, what would you like to plug? You can tell the camera there.
Well, one thing. We will be doing this again soon.
Oh, will we?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And, like you said, follow UAB.
Follow UAB Philosophy. Yep, that's our big one.
Students watching this, go to philosophy class.
There we go.
Sure thing.
Okay.
If you don't, it's going to be a big mistake.
There.
That's true.
Vaguely
And-
threatening, but all right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
Thank
And
you guys
ride
so
some
much.
elevators.
Yeah, and University Hall. University Hall is where you go.
That's a good elevator,
UH
right?
has the
No,
elevators?
not the elevator. You.
Oh,
That's
I
where.
see.
Oh, that's where that. Yep, that's fair.
Okay. Well,
That's
thank you
fair.
guys so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Brynn Welch. This has been Blazin Bites, the show with blazing questions, blazing wings, UAB's spiciest interview show. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.